When Pokemon created the double battle, they absolutely cooked. It takes everything great about singles battles and makes it, well, double. Look, I get paid to talk about Pokemon, I'm not like William Shakespeare or anything. While double battles may have been a revolutionary addition to the main series games, which ultimately resulted in the official competitive circuit adding them as their official format, the same can't be said about, well, just every other kind of battle Game Freak has tried to implement since then. That's right. Today we'll be taking a look at triple battles, rotation battles, inverse battles, battle royales, and of course, those battles. While these formats may have had their fans, ultimately they've been left in Game Freak's trash can out back, along with Z-Moves, Megas, and for some reason Watchog. You know, that guy hasn't been a wild encounter since X and Y. It's been like 12 years since you could just find this dude in a playthrough, go figure. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video at any point in time, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. As a matter of fact, you should really just subscribe right now because I have a playlist full of content just like this that you can watch once this video ends. And if you think you're subscribed, do me a favor and double check because a lot of my viewers actually aren't. With that, let's get into the video. But not before I plug my YouTube channel memberships. If you click the join button, not only do you get access to bonus videos every week and access to my podcast with Jody Azzarelli, but you also can join my members only Discord where we team build and discuss Pokemon broadly. You also get a badge by your name in the comments and in my live streams, and you get to see your name at the end of these videos. Lots of cool perks there, so consider supporting me with the channel membership. Now back to the video. Triple battles were the next logical step in Pokemon battle formats. There's a lot of depth of play when there are 4 Pokemon on the field, but what about 6? Well, that's where triple battle's unique battle mechanics come into play. During a double battle, it doesn't typically matter which Pokemon is sent out into which position on lead, with the exception of if the opponent has an imposter Ditto on their team to copy the Pokemon across from them. But in a triple battle, there's not much that's more important. You see, the Pokemon on the left and right side of the field can only attack the opposing center Pokemon or the Pokemon directly across from them. Meanwhile, the center Pokemon is able to attack every Pokemon on the field. This sort of makes your center Pokemon a team captain in the fact that they're going to be your most valuable damage dealer, but also your most vulnerable piece. This is why the center Pokemon is typically a spot reserved for sweepers or a Pokemon with a wide variety of coverage moves to pick off whatever happens to be in front of them. So let's say, for example, I wanted to use a rain team in triple battles. I could position a Politoed in my left slot to set the rain, and a Ludicolo in the right slot to fake out the middle or right Pokemon while still being able to attack, and a Kingdra to spam Muddy Water against the entire other team. Alternatively, for Sun teams, you could place a Drought Ninetales in the middle to set up Sun and spam Heat Wave, flanking it with a Chlorophyll Venusaur to sleep things, and, I don't know, Scrafty for fake out. Look, I just learned about how these battles work the other day to make this video, so sue me, I guess. But imagine what kind of crazy stuff you could pull off with modern Pokemon and moves. We'd have access to Expanding Force, Glacial Lance, Mind Blown. It'd be absolutely crazy today. Well, Pokemon Showdown has actually implemented the triple battles into current gens just to see how ridiculous things could get. And it produced clips like this.
Nah, you're shiced. Oh my god, drugs. Why did we tailwind when we're faster than him anyways? Oh,
Tailwind too. They had their own, see?
dude!
Triple battles were ultimately a fine addition to the game that had a pretty dedicated fan base. The added complexity they brought beyond double battles made them a really fun and creative battle format. And I mean, it makes sense. What follows double battles? Triple battles. And what follows triple battles? Okay, so rotation battles are pretty visually similar to triple battles in that, well, there's 3 of them, but they play completely differently. Contrary to what you might think at first glance, no, you can't hit the Pokemon on either side of the middle Pokemon. Actually, it's far more complicated than that. I might need a visual aid here, but where am I going to find rotation battle footage for a game that's 13 years old?
Hello, and welcome to my channel. You should be informed my opponents get dismantled.
Thanks, Shofu. As you can see, in a rotation battle, the Pokemon rotate. Okay, maybe the visual aid wasn't needed, but there's more to it than that. Think of rotation battles to be single battles with benched Pokemon. Before you select which move you make each turn, you can rotate in your left or right Pokemon. Once you decide if you'll rotate or not, you select your moves. This means that not only do you need to predict if the opponent's going to switch or attack, but you need to cover for the possibility that the Pokemon to the left or right rotates in and attacks on the same turn. Another fun little mechanic with rotation battles is that your stat changes don't go away if you rotate a Pokemon out, only if you properly switch them, which means that on one turn you can Swords Dance up and then rotate that Pokemon out to use it later while another Pokemon takes its place and attacks on that turn. Genuinely, this might be one of the coolest innovations Game Freak has ever made to the singles battle format. You have so much depth when it comes to which Pokemon you lead with and how you bench and preserve certain team members that it's something I wish people would have explored more. While it never overtook singles in popularity, I guarantee that if they pushed for it, this would have become one of the most deeply strategic metagames that they could have developed. So why didn't triple and rotation battles stick around? Oh yeah, because the games ran like they were held together with duct tape and a child's wish. It's a shame. Like I said, I just learned how these metagames worked while I was making this video, and now I'm genuinely feeling like I'm missing out on something really cool just because Gen 7 genuinely wouldn't have been able to handle them graphically. Oh well, I guess. Okay, the inverse battle format is actually pretty weird. Technically speaking, this was never pushed in the same way that triple or rotation battles were, but they would come along here and there via the special rating battle ladder in Gen 6 and 7. This format simply reverses the type charts, making it so if a type would normally resist another type, it would be flipped to make it super effective and vice versa. Additionally, this type chart had no immunities on it, because if a Pokemon would normally be immune to a certain attack, it would just be changed to be super effective instead. This seriously flipped the script on which Pokemon were considered top tiers, since types like Steel, which normally had a vast array of resists and immunities, suddenly became one of the most exploitable types in the game. Meanwhile, the grass types, well... This metagame, while not super popular, is a fun spin on the games which existed in Gen 6 and 7, but it hasn't been reintroduced into any of the Switch titles. And I mean, I think I'm kinda cool with that. Terrabug Iron Hands already won the World Championships, and I'm not ready to see Landorus, Therian, Sprout, and Tenna and start cooking me in a match. Pokemon which were typically defensive powerhouses like Ferrothorn would have to fear eating normal and water moves for super effective damage, effectively making them some of the worst walls in the game. Meanwhile, Pokemon like Hisui and Avalugg finally get to take advantage of their great defensive stats and actually do something with them, since Rock-Ice types now resist water, fighting, ground, rock, and steel type attacks, while only actually being weak to normal ice, poison, and flying moves. Bug type attacks also suddenly became some of the best in the game, since they hit 7 of the 18 types for super effective damage. While you might not be able to experience this sort of battle online anymore, you can still battle NPCs with inverse battle rules in X, Y, and Oris, and if you want to play with your friends, Pokemon Showdown has this rule set available to play to this day. Have fun spamming Expanding Force into Dark types. Never in my life have I seen a Gimmick battle so widely ridiculed as this one. I swear, if you so much as go online and mention Sky battles, you'll be flooded with people explaining how Sky battles caused them to lose their house in a divorce and ate their gerbil. But worst of all, it made Charizard look really dumb for like 3 generations in a row. Look at him, absolutely refusing to touch the ground under any circumstances. Sky battles were very simple. They were never playable in a PvP context, but you'd occasionally encounter a trainer who wore a wingsuit and decide to make it their whole personality. In a Sky battle, you can only use Pokemon that fly or levitate. Okay, so that means all flying types and all Pokemon with levitate are legal, right? Not so fast, bozo. I said every Pokemon that flies. This means their in-game model has to match that regardless of the lore. This means that you couldn't use Pokemon like Dodrio, Gengar, Murkrow, Delibird, or anything else that wasn't actively flying in-game. This throwaway Gimmick battle is arguably the reason we had some of the most lifeless animations for Pokemon from Gen 6 through 8. Look at Xatu flying there and tell me he wouldn't look cooler if he was just standing on the ground like in previous generations. I dare you. Beyond this restriction in Pokemon, a bunch of moves were completely unusable in Sky battles like Body Slam, Bulldoze, Dig, Earth Power, Spike, Surf, basically any move which logically couldn't be pulled off mid-air. But worst of all, Substitute was banned because the Substitute model doesn't fly. No wonder we never saw these again. Fortnite. Much like every other game in the late 2010s, Pokemon saw fit to add a Battle Royale game mode. Only their Battle Royale has a shirtless dude in a mask, so it's automatically cooler to me as a Mexican. Battle Royales in Pokemon were a game mode which allowed for 4 players to battle it out in a free-for-all. These battles would end once a player lost all 3 of their Pokemon, with the winner being whoever had the most points by the end of the match. You would get a point for every KO your Pokemon secured, as well as a point for every Pokemon you still had remaining. So, hypothetically speaking, the most points a single person would get in a game would be 10, with the player getting 2 points for KOing one corner's Pokemon, 2 more for KOing the second corner's Pokemon, 3 for KOing all of the final corner's Pokemon, and 3 more if they didn't lose any of their own. Whether or not this has been pulled off in-game, I'm not sure, but it was certainly a really fun game mode, which was the only official free-for-all format we've ever had in the games. To this day, Pokemon players still hop into multi-battles and play them basically like it's a battle royale. And if you ever hopped in a voice call with your friends and played these, you'd know just how fun they could be. You're constantly begging your friends to gang up on anyone but you, and lying to their face as you attack them when you swore you wouldn't. While I couldn't see these necessarily becoming any kind of serious competitive format, as a novelty they were really cool, but they only existed in Gen 7 and have yet to return. Here's to hoping they make some kind of comeback in Gen 10. Since the Battle Royale, Pokemon has yet to introduce a new type of gimmick battle to the games, with the exception of Dynamax and Terra Raids, but those are a PvE experience rather than a PvP, so I wouldn't necessarily count them. Which of these formats was your favorite, and do you want any of them to actually come back? Did Sky Battles cause your divorce too? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. If you want to support me further, you can check out my Patreon page or become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button below the video. This gets you sneak peeks at future videos, bonus content, and my supporter-only Discord where you can hang out and team build with other community members. You'll also see your name at the end of my videos like all these lovely people. Special thanks to my most boosted supporters, Avatar67 and Kayla Thompson, for their generous pledges. Another way to support me is to check out all the videos in the playlist on screen right now. I know you'll find something in there that you'll enjoy. I also have a second channel where I talk about the current VGC metagame trends and a Twitch channel where I stream, both of which are in the description. Or you can just tune into my YouTube live streams Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. CST. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.